Greetings once more, dear friends. Frantical Dragon back once again. It is Eastern Heroes time. It's been a little minute since we had a chance to look at another Eastern Heroes magazine release. This time round we're getting a nice hardback book, and is the next in the ongoing kind of Bruce Lee special series. This is Volume 2, Issue 5, for anyone who's keeping track. Like I say, this is the nice hardback book version of it. So I thought we'd take a quick look through together and see what is inside for all of you Bruce Lee fans. So this is a little bit more dedicated to Bruceploitation this time round, though there is still a little bit of Bruce Lee content in it too. But enough rambling, let's take a little look inside the book. So first up, we're getting Rick's little editorial, and then we dive straight into an incredible examination of the historical significance of Bruceploitation cinema by the wonderful Brian Bankston. Brian's been really a busy man recently. He's doing a whole bunch of commentaries, did quite a few for Arrow's Shawscope Volume 3 set, and he's been doing an extensive amount for Shout Factory for their Shaw Brothers releases. Incredibly knowledgeable guy and a wonderful writer, so his article here is incredibly well done. Kind of goes back to really how the kind of Bruceploitation phenomenon came about, why it came about, and then takes us through basically what was going on just after Bruce's untimely passing, and then those that rose to kind of fill the void. So obviously we get first off the kind of the biopics that were made initially, which he looks at: Bruce Lee, His Last Days, His Last Nights. And then we move into the clones. So we get Bruce Lee, my own personal favourite of the kind of Bruce clones, the Bruce imitators. But I would argue that he went on to become very much his own man, and absolutely incredibly charismatic actor and a really great martial arts performer. So dives into several of the movies that he worked in great detail. And Goodbye Bruce Lee, His Last Game of Death, throughout some really wonderful posters for the various movies. New Fist of Fury with a very young Jackie Chan. And then we move into the incredible Bruce Lee. Brian dives into his career, facing off against Lo Lee. I didn't actually appreciate that he had a very small cameo part in the wonderful Super Inframan, but there he is in a Shaw Brothers movie alongside Danny Lee. And we kind of get a wee roundup of some of the various other kind of Bruce imitators or Bruce clones, most notably Dragon Lee from Korea. And Brian rounds off his article speaking about basically what else was kind of going on and what other movies kind of came along in the early 70s after Bruce's passing. Kind of so looks at what Shaw Brothers were doing at the time, King Boxer and The Angry Guest and so forth. Really wonderfully well put together. And some glorious posters right the way through it. Five Fingers of Death at the bottom there. Then there is me, and I did a pretty extensive dive into Severin Films' the Game of Clones box set, really. So I kind of went through the entire box set, disc by disc, movie by movie. Thank you very much to Tim Hollingworth, who's done a beautiful job in this issue with his design, for including a couple of the screenshots for some of the video interviews that I did. So for those who haven't seen it, do please jump over and check out the interview with Frank Jeng and the interview with Michael Worth about the box set if you're interested. Both great interviews. Michael was incredibly informative, just a wealth of knowledge that man has about Bruceploitation, so I'll leave links down to those underneath. But yeah, I rattle through the whole box set, so kind of go through the documentary and then the various movies that are included on the different discs, and Tim's done a magic job of kind of pulling out some great images from each film. This layout here is an absolute treat. Two thumbs way up, man. You've outdone yourself with this book. And then we get through the last of my bit. I think I've got 16 pages this issue, which is a real treat. It took me quite a long time to write this and kind of put quite a lot into it, but the box set was really worth it. And we get an advert for the box set itself from Severin. And Michael Nisbet returns and once again takes us through his incredible vinyl collection. So we get a whole beautiful bunch of images from the various records that he's put together in his collection over the years. Quite a few soundtracks, obviously. So we're getting the Green Hornet, Enter the Dragon soundtracks. Loads of these are Japanese imports, and this is the closest I will ever get to seeing these. A lot of these are incredibly rare and very expensive to track down for collectors. Soundtracks for The Big Boss. And then various appearances that some Bruce Lee had on some other kind of type of compilations, so kind of best action movies out of Japan. A compilation which puts together music from Godfather, Earthquake, Enter the Dragon, Magnum Force, Shaft, Goldfinger and others. Pretty damn cool. And the Dragon Sounds from Warner Brothers Records. Most of these are all Japanese releases this time round. A couple of American ones in there too. The Ballad of Bruce Lee, which I'd never heard of. Music from this LP was written and recorded by Robert Lee, Bruce Lee's brother. All songs in the album are dedicated to Bruce. Yeah, just a wealth of stuff here. Michael always shares some absolute treats. Then we get the incredible Frank Jang being interviewed by Rick and by Simon Pritchard, really essentially about the fairly recent visit that Bruce Lee did across to the States around the time when the documentary was screening. He came over and had a visit and got to go around the various screenings that they did around the country, which is a real treat to people who were able to attend the screenings. And we get some great images that Frank's sent over of basically Bruce's time. It looks like they're visiting the Alamo Draft House, the one that was kind of made up by, I think, Larissa was involved in the production of that one. It's kind of got the flying guillotines set up that you see everybody standing in front of, taking a picture, breaking it, and him meeting the incredible Chu Chi Ling, and the two of them had worked together. I know that Frank and Michael were able to reunite them during the tour. Pretty damn cool. Still looking amazing, and still, apparently from what Michael says, hitting very hard. Very, very cool indeed. Then Rick has written a little bit about essentially the new 4K remasters that are happening to not just Bruce Lee's movies, but also to the Bruceploitation movies, and how great it is that we're getting a chance to see these movies looking better than they ever have done. And get some kind of great cover images of a few different titles, including a couple of little teasers of things that we might or might not see on Volume 2 of the Severin box set. I will say no more for just now. And Jason McNeil gives us a great little selection of comic book strips, or these would basically be newspaper comic strips, all featuring Bruce Lee. Most of these I've never ever seen before, but pretty great to read through. It takes me way back to those very short form little kind of wee newspaper strips, which were kind of, I think, for a lot of us, our first introduction to comics. Then we round things out with a photo gallery of the man himself, because we couldn't end a book without going back to the source, and a kind of really nice mix across Bruce's career. So we get some shots from Way of the Dragon, some promo stills that he did. Looks like on set with Lo Wei, Big Boss. Looks like Enter the Dragon. Another still from Enter the Dragon. Then JT Williams does a little bit of a roundup of various appearances of the yellow jumpsuit. I did an article like this, a little bit similar. I can't remember how many issues ago, but it's great to see JT Williams doing a similar type of thing, but with his own style. And we get Uma from Kill Bill, the wonderful Shaolin Soccer, The Last Dragon, which I can't remember if I included in mine. I don't think I did. And then he's also included a couple of entries from computer games, Marshall from Tekken. And that is it. There's the man himself smiling us out. The back gives us a little bit advert for the incredible new Essential Guide to Hong Kong Movies, Rick's revised edition, which if you've not already picked up, I absolutely recommend that you do so. It's very, very cool, looking better than ever in a slightly more compact size, so a little bit easier to kind of flick through. At the time I did a full breakdown of the book, and I'll leave a link down to that underneath as well, and you can check out that video too. But that's it. Thank you very much to Rick, as always, for letting me be a part of these releases. It's a real joy for me to write for these. Next up, we have a Jet Li special coming around, so keep your eyes peeled for that. It's a real trip at the moment to put together a bunch of stuff for the Jet Li issue, which I don't think we've done a Jet Li special so far, so it's been good fun putting that one together. But I've rambled on long enough. Thank you so much for watching this. Thanks for supporting the magazine. If you're still doing it, it's very, very important to kind of keep old style print media alive and kicking, because it's great to read information online, but there's nothing quite like having it tangibly in your hands. So you can find a link underneath here to order the book if you have not already, along with a bunch of other Eastern Heroes back issues. I've been the Fanatical Dragon. Thank you all for watching. I will see you on the next one. Take care.